Hello, Russell Shaw with Brain Revolution and Neuroencoding. What is those? Well, let me tell you something. Neuroencoding, those connections from one side of the brain to the other. See, I found my brain, so I'm glad about that. But the thing about it is those connections that run in between your brain, they are so important. And what we eat and how we sleep, those things. But let me tell you what happened the other day. I was talking to a friend of mine that had been in some of my masterminds in my brain class. He told me, he says, you know what? He says, man, that one little trick you taught me has saved me so much time. I says, really? Well, what trick was that? He says, the pattern interrupt. You remember the pattern? Well, yeah, I remember the pattern interrupt. And he says, whenever you told us about, when we're sitting down, whenever we're not moving or anything, and we get up to go do something else, and we get in the kitchen because we went to get something, and we thought, what'd I come in here for? Must have been a glass of water. And then we go back to sit down and say, I needed an ink pen. Why in the world did I forget? And of course, now you know why you forget, because whenever you're going from sitting to standing up, that creates a void in your mind. And that void causes us to kind of forget what we're doing. The thing about it is, whenever you stand up and you say, I'm going to get an ink pen, now if you stop to do something else, you create another void. So you may have to remind you, I'm going to get an ink pen. But he said, I save so much time now on the job, because if I'm working on something, because he works in construction, and he says, and I go to get a saw blade, and I get in there and I get my blade and I come back. He says, because I remembered what I went there for, because I reminded myself. It's amazing that I can forget that quick. And I says, yes, it is. The brain is a wonderful thing, especially whenever we learn how to use it. So that's just one of the many tricks that I teach people in my mastermind and in my brain classes. So come join me. Because whenever I found my brain, I found something that I thought was slipping away from me. And I really didn't want it to.